by Cobb County, but Cobb is by far the largest portion of the current 11th Congressional District and its total of 9 counties. The new district will be 4, and 2 counties will be brand new. So in the 11th, there will only be 2 of the current 9 counties in this congressional district. But thank goodness Bartow is one of them. Thank goodness Cobb, where I live in Marietta, is one of them. But the new county is Cherokee, and it's 225,000 people. And it's hard to believe, but Fulton County. But it's a very Republican part of Fulton County. It expands the part of Cobb County into the Vinings area. So probably 45% new people in the 11th Congressional District, but good, solid, conservative Republicans, and I think that bodes well for our party holding on to, hopefully yours truly, holding on to the 11th Congressional District. I was at the Bartow County Cartersville Chamber of Commerce dinner last weekend, and just thrilled to hear from Chamber and what's going on in this community and the Lake Point project, and of course the Georgia Museums Incorporated, which includes Tellus and Booth, where the event was actually hosted. It's just unbelievable what this county has done and what we can look for, I think, in the future. Obviously, the unemployment rate is worrisome. It's still probably over 10% in Bartow County. But the hope, of course, that this project, Lake Point, and other things that are going on, and what John Osher and all the great people in Bartow County have done in regard to the Georgia Museums, has such a domino effect of bringing in other activities, and I think there's already a lot of talk about that, and I'm excited, and I know you are too, and we have a lot to look forward to. In a way, it's you think about things being the worst of times and the best of times, but I've always been the glass half full kind of person, and I feel confident that the economy is going to get better, and we're going to see a lot better days in the future. I am not going to hope that the economy stays bad through the next 5 or 6 months to enhance our opportunity politically to take over the Senate, get those 4+ additional Senate seats, and to hold on to the House of Representatives. I think that all of this will happen, but let that take care of itself. Let's just hope and pray and ask God to give us the strength and the wisdom to make the right decisions during this next year in the second session of the 112th Congress, so the economy does improve. I think the elections will take care of themselves. Too many people are suffering for us to play any political games in that regard. That being said, the likelihood of much happening in Washington in regard to significant pieces of legislation, some of which I've been very actively involved in, it probably won't happen in an election year. All this gridlock will continue, but I think there will come a time when we will work together in a bipartisan way. But usually when the media talking heads and the Democrats talk about, or maybe even the independents say to you, why can't you people just get along and do what's best for the country and sit down and solve all these problems? They're usually inferring that that means you give up your principles and then sit down and compromise with the other side. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look for opportunities to work in a bipartisan way, whether it's on health care and certainly on jobs and energy and all the important things, revising the tax code. All these things are hugely important, and we can do it in a bipartisan way. But if it means, as President Obama has done in every single private meeting, with the mess that we're in now in regard to the sequester and cutting the military by $1 trillion. I'm not going to go along with any of that. I'll remain partisan until I die if it's a matter of giving up our principles. I'm gonna stop with that and open it up to questions, because I'm sure you have some questions. Louis, you'll let me know when it's time for the shepherd's hook. I know you want to hear from some folks this morning, and quite honestly, I do too. There are a number of people that want to announce or have already announced. There are some very, very important races coming up, and I know you want to hear from them, so I don't want to dominate the time, but I'll be happy to take some questions, Louis, if we have time for that.
We have so many people in here this morning. I think the table was crowded, so few people saw the sign-in sheet here, but we got 3 people that have asked you a question. Tom Kelly,
yeah.
Our first one. Where's he at? There he is. Tom.
I just recently bought a new truck. That's all right. I just recently bought a new Dodge truck. The government is now in charge of building. I've owned 3 previous ones. They're 1-ton diesels. I got over 20 miles a gallon out of the last 3. Put almost 80, 90,000 miles on every one of them. 2 of them put over 300,000. That motor, 5.9 diesel, the government now says Dodge can't put in the trucks because it doesn't get the air pollution standards down. So they're making them put in a 6.9. I get 12 miles a gallon. Now what idiot in the EPA decided that you can burn twice as much fuel as long as the initial sitting at idle makes less pollution? Now, what are we going to do to stop those non-elected nincompoops from running our lives? I already talked to Dodge and told them they need to quit letting the damn bureaucrats tell them what the hell to build, and build what they've built for the last 100 years.
Well, you make a very, very good point. I'm not the truck expert, but I think that you use that as a lead-in to the outrage that you feel, and everybody, I think, with any scintilla of common sense feels in regard to the rules and regulations and what the EPA and these folks are doing to us. They're destroying our economy is what they're doing. And I know maybe it's a worn-out, trite expression that I've been using for a while now, but these liberals, these environmental extremists, would literally torch a village to save a gnat.
That's true.
And that's the thinking that goes on within this organization, and you mentioned just one, the EPA, but the EPA is huge, and the Supreme Court has given them not a mandate, but a free rein to regulate the CO2 emissions based on the Clean Air Act and a lot of things that just absolutely are untenable if we want to create jobs and sell trucks and continue to be a manufacturing country, or to recapture our ability to be a manufacturing country. The Congress and what we can do, there's something called the Congressional Review Act that allows the Congress, if it does so in a timely manner, to challenge, have a resolution of disapproval for rules and regulations. And we just recently in the House, hopefully, well, it's not likely, right, with Harry Reid that the Senate will pass it, but it's something called the RAINS Act. RAINS is an acronym. The bill was introduced by Jeff Davis, Republican member from Kentucky, that would basically say that any rule or regulations that is put